Hello everyone, it's Christine here and we're back for another variation of buttonhole. So I haven't been loving doing the regular buttonhole in this fabric because it wants to create little pools. So I've just stitched myself down a little lovely bit of cotton from the reverse art truck that I'm going to use as the base for tonight's stitch. And we're going to be doing Tailors Buttonhole Stitch, which was suggested by the lovely Kimberly. I'm not going to do it on a slit in it. I'm just going to show you the technique without the slit, because you can also just do it as a decorative technique. So I've got some crochet yarn to ply, and I'm just going to pop through from the back with a knot in my thread. And then we're going to start our regular as though we were coming down from the, if we were working on the slit in a fabric, but in this case we're not doing that. Just going to bring my needle down, going to do the usual wrapping around the top and the bottom in a clockwise direction, and then I'm going to pull through. And the only difference from the regular buttonhole stitch at this stage is I'm not going to pull super tight. I'm just going to leave my thread just pulled, but with a bit of space. And the reason for that is we're then going to pop in through the actual loop that's at the top with our needle. And then we're going to do the normal wrapping. So that's the second difference. We're actually creating our stitch down in the knot of the previous stitch. So again, I'm going to insert my needle into the knot. We'll see if we can actually go straight when I'm doing these stitches. I tend to go a bit crooked, I think. And then we're going to do the normal process of wrapping the thread, normal process of pulling through. And then when we're pulling up, I'm just not going to give it as much of a tight tug. And then we're going to place our needle into the knot, still going through, in this case behind the fabric, because we don't have the slit of the that we're working around. Oops, did I wrap that? Yes, it's wrapped at the back and below. So I hope you're all having a great day or a great evening. Hopefully your week has been kind to you. It's a very busy time for me at work at the moment, but the days fly by, so we'll take that as a bonus. And good things, doing good things. So that's the other thing. And then got the sewing at the end of the day to look forward to as a bit of downtime. Although I must admit I'm a bit focused on making sure I get all my stitchery squares done for all my swaps before the end of August deadline. I know it's not a hard and fast deadline, but I don't want anyone out there sitting waiting thinking, is Christine going to send me my swap? I am indeed. I'm having such a lovely time creating. It's just balancing that desire to just add so much detail and surprise and wonder into them, with the need to stick to some sort of deadline. Hopefully, I think I'm managing to stay on camera, so that's a bonus. That's a bonus, isn't it, folks? Am I actually keeping straight? Not very straight, but that's okay. We'll take that. It's all right. Let's see if I can straighten up at all. Should almost draw myself lines up and down as well, just to keep myself in check. Let's just lay it flat for a moment to straighten it out a little bit. So always just placing your needle into the little notch and then piercing the fabric and having your needle pass at the back of the fabric, and then making sure your thread is wrapping around the top and the bottom, doing the knot but not going super tight with your knot. But yeah, using the thicker yarn definitely helps, I think, to have a knot that's not I'm really not trying to pun. a knot that's not too hard to get the needle into. Oops. Okay, so just keep going. We'll just do a few more so you get the gist of it. If you're stitching along, gives you a bit of time to stitch a bit, look up, check anything you want to check. I'm not a fan of those stitchy videos where they just go, so they put it sort of into fast forward after doing 1 or 2 stitches. I'm just like, that's not that helpful for me. That's why I put you through the torture of seeing me doing the whole the whole row. But I suppose, like, yeah, if you've got the hang of it and you don't want to keep watching, that is a-okay too. You can just pick up the stitch and then move on. Go and have a play with the stitch. Do some fun things with it. I'm trying to think what this one could be good use for all sorts of things. Could be a border. Could use it to fill various things in where you want a sort of a braided style border, which I'll show you in the moment. Once we've done the stitches, I'll show you what it looks like up top. Yeah, this was a stitch that I didn't know existed until it was suggested. Don't think it's in the book unless it goes by a different name. Okay, let's do one more. So yeah, it definitely makes a difference having a fabric that's not trying to sort of pull, because that just wasn't bringing me that much enjoyment doing some of those stitches. So the buttonhole on this base fabric, even though it's a very pretty base fabric. So there we go. So we'll do as we normally do and just take our needle to the back, and I'll tie it off in a moment. So that's our little row of the Tailors buttonhole stitch, but I want to show you, if I can, the top detailing that you get, which is like a little braided, hopefully the camera might show that. So you get a nice little braid effect, which is lovely. And if you were using an even coarser one, yeah, it would be probably quite noticeable. I think that blue's a coarser one. So I hope you enjoyed Tailors buttonhole. I think tomorrow we might do encroaching buttonhole. I've got to check back and see if knotted buttonhole is actually similar to a stitch that we already did as part of A. So I will do that research and I'll let you know what's up next after encroaching buttonhole. Take care, folks, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.